So how about this one? Creative, right? As long as Jordan Kaplan is involved with the Los Angeles Thieves, have they considered changing their name to Los Angeles Oxygen Thieves? Because you see, in Britain at least, we call someone an oxygen thief who's just a moron. Because the idea is that the one thing they're doing in the room is just using up the fucking oxygen supply, right? It's a pretty simple joke again. Takes it 1 second to think up, to fire out. Takes maybe more than 1 second to think about though, apparently, because these guys never get it right. For this next joke, I need to show you a picture of JKap. So I've just got to put a warning out there. Anyone who has children, animals, or people of the faint heart, look away from the screen right now. That's JKap. That's Jordan Kaplan. That's him in all his glory. That's him outside, natural lighting even. Now, I'll keep this picture on screen for you for the next joke, which was Jordan Kaplan the only one to dig himself out of the dirt on Easter Island and go pro in CoD? Or were there others? Now, again, listen, that one's a pretty obvious joke, right? If we look at his nose and the general massive shape of his head, you know those giant heads of stone statues on Easter Island? It's pretty. It's the only thing Easter Island's famous for. Well, famously, not so long ago, people came and they dug underneath, and it turned out there's actually bodies. Those were like statues that were buried with just their head showing. Now, in this particular case, the joke writes itself, right? But okay, let's chuck in another one to make the point for you so you can kind of see the joke. Then I got one of my boys a few hours later to make me a meme. I put, before Jordan Kaplan left home, he was a proud member of a very stoic people. You can see there he is actually in his youth. This is an old photograph. No, it's obviously a Photoshop, isn't it? And then I say down there, at the time, nobody had seen his body. Now, that just applies to women. I mean, if you can't figure that one out, you probably are going to win worlds in CoD or something. What do you think he comes back with, right? Tell you what, he at least's playing the game now. He at least understands the context of mine and is trying to come back with the same. So you know what? I'll give you half a mark for this, Kaplan. You almost got it, mate. And in fact, not even a bad burn. Probably a pretty terrible picture of me. Look how shit my skin is. The lighting's terrible because I had really bad lighting in the place I used to live there. This is from a video I put out, so it's not like someone took a paparazzi picture or edited it. This is me. Now, I will say, can you see my face now, mate? Look at the shape I'm in. Look fucking good. Come on, strike a pose. Like, mate, all I'll say is this, Kaplan. Listen, mate, I can sort my skincare out. I can get better lighting. I can get a haircut. I can lose a bit of weight. But you can't exactly just go and change that massive nut. Oh, is that why you're still in it? Well, you know what? I can't blame you, mate. You get that bag, stack that cheddar, fucking count that paper, and you get that little button nose you've always dreamed of, mate. You deserve it. I mean, if after all, what's money for if not to spoil yourself every now and then? So he says, what a beauty you are, hearts out of the eyes, and he shows a picture of me looking like ass. Okay. So here I come. Because if people don't know, I kind of like what Hastro alluded to. Another thing they do in Call of Duty is just farm likes and engagement. They go like, RT this for some mad reason. I definitely don't want this thing, but bloody hell, for money I'll do it because I'm a sellout bitch with no integrity. So anyway, since recently, Nadeshot did a thing where it was like, oh, if it's within 24 hours, this many likes, I think it was like 100k or something. Like I'll get a tattoo of like gaming is... Like, sex is good, but gaming is... sex is... I can't fucking remember. Something like... But gaming is better or something. Sex is temporarily good or something. Like, I got the gist of it, but the idea you would let people on the internet just do likes and then you do that on your body is like, all right. But then again, I'm thinking of my body. If I had Nadeshot's body, yeah, I'd probably just use it like an old fucking shoe, wouldn't I? I'd use that thing to, like, fucking unplug my toilet. So, I get it. It's of no value to him. And also, listen, he can barely read as it is. He's just going to see a bunch of squiggles and go, it's cool. Like, when people have a fucking Japanese tattoo and they don't speak Japanese, and it actually says something different than what they think. So I thought I'd use that format. And I said, how many retweets in 24 hours for Jordan Kaplan to tattoo brains sold separately onto his 5 head? Now, a 5 head is an enormous head. He has one, hence the Easter Island jokes. Are you following here, guys? Brains sold separately is like when you used to get a toy when you were a kid and it needed batteries, maybe AA, AAA. You remember the batteries, kids? And basically, obviously it wouldn't come with them, so it'd say batteries sold separately. Again, these are classic formats. If you don't get the joke, that's okay, you're a moron. If you think it isn't a joke, you are maybe beyond a moron. Like at that point in time, the government might actually need to pay your parents some sort of like a tax credit or like a monthly stipend for whatever they're doing in their life that's allowing them to look after you, that you made it to this point in time. You got on a computer at this point. So, okay, JKap comes back. You know he always does, boys. CKelp. That's it. That's it. That's the tweet. Hey, check this out. It's going out like that. But sir, there's nothing in the tweet. How old are you? 32, sir. 32-year-old man here saying it's nothing in it. Hey. Tell you what, mate, hold this hell. Can't even imagine how these guys must be behind the scene. So I thought, you know what? I like to have fun and banter, mate. You want to dance? I'm your huckleberry baby. I said, have a laugh, mate. This could be a gay old time then. Though I can see why you'd hate that. Obviously referencing all the tweets he said about being gay before, haven't I? It's just a joke, of course. I don't actually think Jordan Kaplan is homophobic. Though I don't know him. It just doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to suggest. Seriously, this is called jokes, boys. These are jokes, I know. So, okay. Why do you randomly have a hard-on for me today when we've never even talked before today? I mean, I sort of know what he means. I've never talked to, I don't think I've ever met in person. I don't know if we were at events. Like he might have been at G50 years ago when I went, I don't fucking know. I don't follow CoD, mate. He obviously has, as I told him earlier. Like, if he was even keeping track of what I said earlier, which he obviously wasn't listening to, he's too busy thinking of what he's going to say before he opens his mouth, because let's face it takes him a long time to come up with bangers like CKelp, you know. Probably had to like fucking crowdfund that or something. He had a whole writing room, you know. At one point in time, there was a lot of actual scandal, you know. Was there enough diversity in the writing room? You know, was you getting enough mixed perspectives? But he enjoyed it anyway, and he still was able to churn out those bangers after the years. So if he still can't figure it out, like, mate, these are jokes, and since you keep replying, I keep replying to you. It's not really that hard a dynamic to figure out, right? But the reason I bring this up right now is because after that, that's basically when I stopped tweeting about him. He does appear slightly later in the story with someone else's case where I'm going person by person. But I will say he largely exits the story at this point in time in terms of me just wrecking him because all the others come in at this point. So, okay, he tweets that, 10 p.m. Now, I'll just show you this. He had this as well, where he goes, 37-year-old man tweeting this, and then shows like some sort of like, it must be from Wikipedia or something, where it shows my age, just in response to that joke story about like him on the desert island. Like, that's a banger to him. Like, he's 37. It's like, go on. Because the implication, by the way, I know a lot of Zoomers are not going to understand this. It's like, you're 37 and you're still tweeting jokes. Yeah, jokes remain funny when you're 37. You're 37 and you tweet a joke I don't understand. Maybe it takes more intelligence and an older man would actually understand that, whereas a moron like you, who, by the way, as far as I can tell, you're like 26, mate. By your own logic and Zoomers, you're fucking old. Like, why are you going seek help? Like, that, yeah, 26-year-old man just saying seek help and thinking he's fucking nailing it and that's like straight fire or something. Then, look at this random guy below. I don't actually know who this guy is, but he's got check marks. He must be someone. Says, I'm mad you quoted this because I just wasted 45 seconds of my life reading that and then another 25 seconds telling you about it in this tweet. I actually feel for the guy because he actually could have masturbated 3 times and cried for 10 seconds about the way his life was going. So I'm sorry to have robbed you of that, quite frankly. I hope we never cross paths again. But then later in the night, in fact, the next day, I was basically just chilling. I'm gone at this point in time. The whole drama's ended. Some Slasher, obviously a famous player, famously of Envy, he made some sort of tweet, and then in comes JKap again, hours and hours later, and he says, "Fave if awake right now, no BS at Thorin." It's weird. It's almost like he has a hard on for me or something at this point in time. Then a random fan just goes, "Cap, just beat the shit out of this loser," with a whole 1 like. And then JKap comes in. Probably his most bold comment of the night. "Hey, Thorin, wanna fight?" That's the level that this guy's on. Like, that's who Jordan Kaplan is. You understand that? Like, this guy has a brain for silent film and a face for radio. This guy is fucking unbelievable.